First at 11, Eyewitness News has in-depth coverage of the governor's budget address.
The budget I present to you tonight is rooted in a core belief that every hard-working family deserves a chance.
Governor Raimondo delivered her first budget address to Rhode Island tonight, and you saw it live right here on WPRI 12.
The proposal creates a host of new programs that she says will revive Rhode Island's economy. Our
political analyst Joe Fleming is here to tell us what's next for the governor and her budget plan.
But first, Eyewitness News reporter Kelly Sullivan is live at the State House with reaction to the proposal from both sides.
Well, Governor Raimondo spoke for about 30 minutes, and in those 30 minutes, she laid out several initiatives for job growth and education. She also stressed the importance of Rhode Island attracting businesses to help the economy. She also mentioned ways to cut wasteful spending and streamline the government, and that included cutting her own pay. The General Assembly filled the House chambers Thursday night to hear Rhode Island's first female governor give her first budget proposal. Priority number one, Governor Raimondo told the General Assembly, is to jumpstart the economy and create jobs.
Tonight I propose a comprehensive jobs plan that will operate in waves, with the first wave being the most robust to kickstart our effort. We can't just sit back and expect jobs to appear.
While Republicans shared common ground with Raimondo's efforts to spur job growth and the economy, with all the training programs and initiatives, Senior Deputy Leader Michael Chippendale says Rhode Island doesn't have a revenue problem, but a spending problem.
We can train as many people as we'd like, but if there's no growth in our business sector and no new companies coming to Rhode Island, there will be no new jobs.
The governor presented plans for eliminating state taxes on Social Security benefits for low and middle income seniors, finding millions of dollars in cuts to Medicaid, and also adding a property tax on a second home worth more than $1 million. These also not sitting well with Republicans.
Now is not the time to increase the cost of living for the average Rhode Islanders through increased tax burdens.
Governor Raimondo also wants to streamline the government.
We have to reinvigorate state government with fresh ideas and new ways of doing things in order to get better results for the people of Rhode Island. And this begins with honest and ethical government that the people of Rhode Island deserve.
The governor herself announcing tonight she is cutting her own salary by 5%.
I believe that she is demonstrating that we all need to come to the table and work hard, and she is asking people to make sacrifices and has demonstrated leadership in a very symbolic but important way by making that statement tonight.
And this budget will require lawmakers on both sides to come together to find common ground. House Speaker Nicholas Mattiello acknowledged it's a difficult budget, but he believes Raimondo has struck a balance with her proposals.
So there's a lot of cuts, there's some revenue enhancements, no broad-based tax cuts. So I think the overall balance is good, even though some of the decisions within that balance, whether they're on the revenue side or the cut side, is something that none of us want to consider.
Now, as it stands, this budget proposal closes the nearly $200 million deficit. However, that could change because now it goes to lawmakers, and they will now decide what stays and what goes, and ultimately try to find some common ground because they will have to vote on it, and it will go into effect in less than 4 months from now. Reporting live with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, Kelly Sullivan, Eyewitness News.
More in-depth coverage now on the governor's budget address. Eyewitness News political analyst Joe Fleming is here to break down the budget. Joe, a lot of proposals, not a lot of details.
No, Mike, you don't get a lot of details a lot of time in the budget address. What will happen now is the budget will be released. The General Assembly will start going over the newspapers, the media will get copies of the budget to see where the cuts are and where the increases are. In the address, she's basically laying out a big idea, her big ideas, what she wants to see happen in Rhode Island the next year.
All right, building skills, attracting entrepreneurs, and fostering innovation. How's she going to get that done?
Well, again, she's going to work with the General Assembly, try to get programs that she believes will help create more jobs in the state of Rhode Island. It's not going to be an easy thing to do, but again, she's trying to bring business in, make business part of the solution, not something we're thinking of afterwards, but bring business in and get their ideas.
She wasn't just trying to bring business in, she was trying to bring the House Speaker and the Senate President in on their key issues.
Once again, the governor did a great job with that. The House Speaker wanted to talk about eliminating state income tax for Social Security benefits, she incorporates that in the budget. The Senate President wants to talk about education. She talks about full-day kindergarten for everybody in the state of Rhode Island. She's bringing the leadership of the General Assembly into her budget, which is a very smart thing to do.
Now, she credited the General Assembly with cutting the corporate tax,
Right.
not enough, though, apparently, phasing out the state tax on energy. How's she going to get that done?
Well, again, last year the state General Assembly cut the corporate tax from 9 to 6%, which brings us down to the lowest in New England. Now she wants to cut energy tax. Again, the General Assembly may not be that warm to that idea. We have to see on how it plays out in the committee hearings and how the committee looks at it. But that might be one of the toughest sells for her.
And finally, Joe, what does she have to do starting tomorrow?
Well, starting tomorrow, she has to sell the budget. She has to sell the budget to Rhode Islanders. She has to sell it to the General Assembly. She has to sell it to all special interest groups in the state of Rhode Island. How this budget is going to turn Rhode Island around. So I think you're going to see her out there like she's doing newsmakers this weekend. She's going to be out there trying to sell her budget.
All right, Joe Fleming, thank you very much.